going to share some strategies with you guys on tonight as we kick off the 2020 Virtual Shift Conference. I don't know about y'all, but I'm super excited about this 2020 Shift Conference. We are so used to housing our conference within a space. So for us to do this virtually this year, this is going to be awesome. So I hope y'all ready. You ready? I'm ready. So listen, we just got started with one of our favorite Christian, well, is he still considered a Christian rapper? Because he like...
Christian artist, he's an artist.
I mean, I'm sorry, Christian artist.
Yeah, he's an artist.
Okay. And one of our workshop facilitators, Jay Will. So give it up for Jay Will and Darius James with Dream Talk. It's one of my favorite songs. Make sure you guys go and check it out. Listen, share this broadcast. Share this with as many people as you possibly can. I'm super excited as we kick off tonight. We are kicking off the 2020 Virtual Shift Conference. I am your conference host and your vision coach, LaToya Early. I help startup Christian female coaches. Not only do I help you find your message, but I help you increase your visibility and I help you grow your revenue through monetizing your programs, through niche marketing and certification. So listen, I'm excited because the conference is designed for startup coaches, creatives, and consultants. So I'm geeked about it. And then, let me tell y'all, we have a special guest. We're going to kick off the pre-conference. I don't even know what to call this. Pre-conference. We're going to kick this off with...
Yeah, pre-conference.
One of the workshop facilitators and my boo, because y'all know this my boo. So make sure you guys are tuning in with us every Thursday for the next 4 or 5 Thursdays as we introduce the workshop facilitators. Tonight we are going to talk with our very own Demetrious Early, Meet Real. Let me tell you guys a little bit about him. I'm probably going to read some stuff in this bio that I may not even know. We're going to see. But Demetrious, for most of you guys know him as Meet Real. Demetrious Early is known for his hot takes and opinionated banter, especially in media as a radio personality on several shows as well as social media. He has given his nickname because of his raw and direct approach and even his unwavering position on LeBron and Beyonce. I don't know if y'all know anything about how you think about LeBron and Beyonce, but I digress. He is also a 2-time author and an aspiring published fiction writer. Demetrious is a born coach and leader as he is the oldest of 2 brothers and 1 sister, a host of cousins and other people that tell him what to do.
I tell what to do.
That you tell what to do? Okay. Especially his in-laws. His focus in coaching and communication came by realizing a huge desire to communicate, but an inability to effectively do so and an unconscious resentment to men. Discovering the why behind this led him to focusing on father-son reconciliation and the behaviors it's caused in men. As a son for 33 years and a father for 8, Demetrious contains a vast amount of information and wisdom on both ends of the spectrum. Demetrious desires to expose the root of certain behaviors and the disconnect in communication because he understands the impact it has on the community when men feel rejected by their fathers. Demetrious has begun opening up about his journey in hopes to encourage others to see and finally be able to heal not just themselves but those around them. Men understanding their impact on the world can change everything, and that makes his passion something he has been born to do.
You get it? Because I'm a man, so I was born to be a man.
Did y'all laugh at that? Listen, this was a really good bio. I didn't write that, y'all. He wrote that himself.
I'm as a writer.
As a writer?
Yeah. So we got through the formalities. It's not gonna be that tight.
I was tight. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I can't help it.
We professional, so we gonna be professional, but we not gonna be that tight. We'll have a good time. Can I move this? Is it like terrible to move this so I can read?
Yes, you can. We're not gonna be able to read any comments right now. We love y'all too. That's all I see.
Sweet. Okay.
But we can't move this because if we move it closer, then it's gonna knock out.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. If y'all got any comments, questions, concerns, whatever y'all put on there, we will do a follow up.
We will
post conversation with the one and only Demetrious, where I will answer all the questions I see and respond to all the comments and accept all the Cash App deposits.
No Cash App deposits. What we want y'all to do is attend the conference. So hold your Cash Apps and go to chasegreatshift.com and register for the conference. So listen, this is how we're going to kick off the pre-conference, the 2020 Virtual Shift Conference. Just in case you guys, if this is your first time even learning about the conference, what we do, this is actually our 4th annual conference, y'all. We have been rocking out for 4 years, making an event available to coaches, entrepreneurs, where we not only help you shift in business, but we help you shift in faith. Listen, it is a big deal when you are merging ministry and business, right? Because a lot of us think that we're supposed to separate business and ministry, but if you're anything like me, there's no separation. I'm sorry. So I'm super excited. And let me just tell you guys really quickly how originally, again, this was supposed to take place in Utica, Michigan. And so with the pandemic that's happening around us and all of the, just the stories, the situations, the shift in lifestyle, like everything that's been happening around us, we've had to do a drastic shift. So it was either cancel the conference or improvise, right? And I don't know if you guys know me well, but your girl pivot game, I'm not quitting. So we had to figure out how to make this available, not only to those who were going to attend the conference in person, but I believe that this is definitely a prayer of Jabez. Like, Lord, expand our territory. I think the prayer, Jabez prayer.
Gotcha.
What did you make us?
I didn't know what you said. I thought you said, so I just.
You thought I cussed?
No, I just didn't know what that word was.
Yeah, the prayer of Jabez, 1 Chronicle 4:10,
right,
where Jabez asked God to expand his territory. So that's where,
I was curious.
You know what I'm saying? That's where I figured, why not? Why not make this conference virtual? We'll figure it out. We hope that you guys get some good information over the next several weeks and that you guys rock out with us during the Shift Conference. Right. We are going to create a virtual experience that you've never experienced. Yeah. That probably didn't come out right.
Yeah.
But cool, so let's go ahead and start the questions because we're going to keep this nice and, as professional as possible. Again, this is my husband, Exhibit A, and we're going to rock out, and I'm going to be the host, and I'm going to ask questions, and hopefully he go by the guidelines that I emailed him. Hopefully. Let's see. So the first question of tonight is, what is one book you would encourage?
I should have grabbed it because I keep forgetting since we at home. Like I can actually show people this stuff.
You could have, but you're not about to get up, so no, just tell them. Okay. For the sake of tonight, what is one book you would encourage a startup coach, a creative, or a consultant to read as they are growing their business, especially during this time? Okay,
so first and foremost, you said one. But I got 2 because I'm not 100% sure because I read both these books at the same time, and that's what got the fire lit for me. So the first book is Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone.
Oh yeah, that's a good book.
It's a punch in the stomach. Like it's legit. It's something that you have all these ideas about what something is supposed to be, and it tells you that you're wrong. Now, I was also reading at the same time The Power of Broke by Damon John.
Okay.
The creator and founder of For Us and By Us clothing. So if I had, do I gotta choose one? If I
had to read one right now, what would you tell them to read?
The best one right now would be The Power of Broke, because some of us that are at home after 2 or 3 weeks, we will be broke, or we've been broke before the time, so now we just broke her. But no, listen, The Power of Broke is something that I read. And it really made me feel like I wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably if I had to choose. But then
between those two, because I've read both of them, I will probably have to say Grant Cardone though. I mean,
Seller Be Sold.
Yes, so what is it?
Seller Be Sold.
Seller Be Sold. That's probably one of my favorite selling type books, because
that opens the door to the game. That's what I think.
It does, and he's so raw. Like, he just talk to you any kind of way in the book. And
when you're rich, you can do that.
You think so?
I know so.
Yeah, don't talk to me.
When you're rich, you can talk to anybody any kind of way, and everybody gonna laugh. It's funny. It's funny when a rich person disrespects you.
Oh, that's terrible. Do y'all agree with that? Do y'all think that rich people can be disrespectful?
Can say whatever they want,
and it be okay?
Hilarious.
Okay, so one of the books that he shared he shared two. He shared The Power of Broke by Damon Johns. And that's crazy because I've read both of them and I can't remember the name of them. And then the other one was Seller Be Sold by Grant Cardone. I think those are really two really good books to help startups. So even if you're not a startup and you're like, listen, I've been rocking out in this game for the longest time, those are still two good books that you might want to check out. Okay, so what are 3 areas that you're going to provide strategy? Because here's the thing. This is what I'm really big when it comes to our conference. This is not your conference where you're just coming to be motivated.
It's definitely not a spectator
sport. You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah, it's not. Like, we don't rock like that.
It's not the zoo. You're not about to come and just be able to observe information for the sake of us having information.
I'm glad the animals don't interact back with us. I'm straight.
They have with some people, depending on your race. It depends on...
depending on your location. They don't do that in Detroit zoos. They be sleep.
Yeah, they be traumatized.
Anyway, so listen, we want Meech to share with us 3 areas that he's going to provide strategy and implementation during the conference. Again, one of the things that we are huge on when it comes to hosting this conference annually is that you have hands-on experience. Like, we don't want to sit and talk at you. We don't want to just you sitting there in this a lecture type feel. We want you to interact with us. That's why transitioning this to a virtual experience is going to be like, I think it might be life changing.
It kind of fits more than we expected it to fit for what we want to have, and it's a lot more benefit because now it's stuff that y'all can steal. I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about like slides that we can show, like, you know, when you doing it live, I can click that slide off real quick because it's hard. Somebody pick up their phone and they gotta. But when you doing it on,
terrible way to look at this. But
how we gonna use it? You're gonna be able to screenshot and get some real solid information.
And the replay is gonna be available.
And you get a replay. You know. This is the first time we've ever shared what has happened in the conference because we like the intimate setting. We like giving people the information that they need that are willing to make the first move. Because like I said, we're not talking just for the sake of talking, and it's not a show. It's actually something that we desire to not just put out, but to actually see it come back. So like this.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so share us the 3 areas.
So first and foremost, I will be talking about mindset. And anybody knows me can say that I am very experienced in things that matter with the mind. From someone who has been out of their mind to where I am today.
Thank God for sanity.
It's a great conversation. So I want to talk about awareness, association, and action.
Awareness, association, and action.
AAA.
AAA.
Because just like AAA, these things, if you fall on them, you call on them, they can get you where you need to be.
That's good. You talking about like AAA roadside?
Yeah, that's like an insurance joke for people who pay extra to have stuff insured, to have stuff set in place.
I cannot.
So awareness is because you have to know that there's a problem. There was a story that I heard by is he elder, pastor? I don't know. I want to say it's Elder James Hayes. He talked about a story about a dog. And there was a dog sitting on the nail, and a man had walked past him like, "Hey, your dog is sitting on the nail. Get him up. Now get up." Now listen, I'm going to tear this story up like I'm gonna tear my kids up because I can hear them. So hopefully they can hear me and they can quiet down.
And they close their door.
At the same time, I want to talk about how. So the guy was yelling at the dog, "Sir, it's your dog is sitting on the nail. I'm talking about it's blood up under the dog. It's a terrible sight." But the dog hadn't moved. And he kept yelling at the owner of the dog until sooner or later the man said, "Listen, when that nail becomes a problem for the dog, he'll move." Okay? So the first things first, you have to become aware. You got to know it's a problem.
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. I mean, we live in a world, we walk around and see people die from things every single day that can be prevented. We see people live lives that we don't want to live every single day. And we follow in the footsteps and make some of the same decisions because we're not aware that it's actually a problem, if it makes sense. And then you have to associate it. So once you say, okay, that's bad, this is wrong, I don't like this, then you have to get to a point where, oh man, I don't like this for myself. Like for me, for a perfect example, I always took slight with fat people. Like I'm just gonna be honest. Everybody make fun of fat people. Is what it is. I'm still there, so I can say it.
You're not still fat.
I'm still not as fat, but what I'm saying is I speak from the fat delegation where I understand that I used to laugh at fat people, right? And I knew people who were fat who died from fat diseases, or not fat diseases, but diseases that had something to do with your weight and your health. Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter to me. It didn't change how I ate, didn't change how I thought about it, didn't change anything. But I knew when I saw somebody really, really fat, I said, wow, that person's really, really fat. So I was aware. Now, things had to happen for me in my life, unfortunately, where I was forced to now associate it with myself. Mm-hmm. So now, even though I saw people dealing with health-related issues, I had to make it an issue of mine because I was sitting in the hospital with something that was dealing with my own health. So I was once aware, then I associated it with mine. Like, this is my problem. This is my issue. This affects me. This can hurt me. Mm-hmm. But that ain't enough. Because sometimes you can get to that point, oh man, I don't want this for my life. But then I had to come home and do. So that's the action. I had to take action. I had to make moves. I had to actually decide. Not that I just wanted this for my life, but I was willing for me to make it happen versus hoping it happened to me. Like the lottery. Like I hope I win the lottery versus I hope I build this Fortune 500 company from my garage. Does that make sense?
It does. So how can we apply those three areas? Because what I like about this is that sometimes before we can apply anything to business, we have to first see it within ourselves, right? We have to be able to see these things manifest in our lives, in our personal lives, before we can be any type of support or additional assistance to our clients. This is something that I teach the coaches. You know, what you've been called from is what you're being called to. When you're building your coaching business, the first step that we go through before you're able to coach anybody is internal development, internal awareness, internal accountability, internal action, right? And so with those three major areas, now that we're able to first do it within ourselves, our personal circle, how can we apply those same three actions professionally?
Okay, so professionally as a coach or just a human being?
Or, because we're talking to coaches, creatives, and consultants. So trying to kind of sum it up. Okay, so sweet. Category.
So you've already come to personal awareness of wherever your focus, wherever your niche is. Like mine is, it's a focus on father-son reconciliation because there are behavioral issues that come from that, right? So after becoming aware of it and deciding that I want more, then I went and I had to go after things to assure that.
That's good.
So that's me. I did that for myself. Now, as a coach, I start to look. So now I'm aware. Now I start to look for others that display the same behavior that I've displayed, maybe speak on or show some of the same activities or comments that I made when I was dealing with that, or as I deal with it. When I have certain thoughts, I start to try to find some kind of likeness. Like, oh man, I used to think like that too. Oh man, I used to be really angry like that too.
So what you're saying is that you associated. Okay, so awareness was the niche, the problem that you solved, whose problem that you solved, right? Then you associated who you're called to serve to your personal, and the different experiences that you've gone through as it pertains to father-son reconciliation. Cool. Okay.
Because that's where I'm an expertise. That's where I'm an expert in.
Okay. Cool.
And then, so after you associate it, so now you found these actions, you brought it together, you became aware, you associate. Now the action is, as a coach, first and foremost, you gotta, I call it like fishing. You gotta make a statement to see who's really feeling that way. It's kind of like when you start searching, you may make a comment, let's say, man, I'm tired of people being angry. Or why is everybody so angry? You may get someone to respond, and they may tell you, I've made some type of comments, and I've gotten a laundry list of a person telling me why they're so angry. That's when you can get into, but why are you so mad, and why does this make you mad? Why? So then you start going through these steps to figure out, to get the person thinking about why they're where they are. Because then they have to become aware. And then as the conversation goes, now they're going through their awareness, then they're going through their association. Because first they got to be able to see it. Everybody can see somebody else. It is almost impossible for somebody to find a mirror. And people hate mirrors and they hate alarm clocks. So you have to find a very, very creative way to be both in the right time where it's not offensive, where it doesn't come off as you're self-righteous, high and mighty, or I've resolved from all problems. But you also have to find a way to make them become aware so they can associate it to themselves, so then that they can see some reason and create some desire as you offer tools for them to become active and take action.
Cool.
That
Yes,
makes sense.
it does.
True.
Cool. So listen, what we need you guys to do right now is jot down some questions that you may have as it pertains to awareness, association, and action. Where in your business can you now become aware of the problem that you're solving, whose problem that you're solving, and then how can you associate this to you? How can you associate this to your business? And what type of action can you start implementing now? We're in the prime time of time where you have more time than you've ever had to sit down and really think about these 3 things that Demetrious just shared with us. I think that was really good. While you are taking your notes and you are writing your few tips down, make sure you share this pre-conference kickoff. Share it with your audience. Again, we want to make sure that not only is this message being shared globally, but that we are being impactful and that we are doing what we're called to do as coaches, and that's help others not only chase great, but of course do what they're called to do in their own personal lives and in their businesses.
Absolutely.
So let's go ahead and rock out to question number 3. Now this is going to be good, y'all, because I don't know if you're going to share something with y'all that I don't know, but what is something that your audience can't Google about you?
I have 2 children outside of this marriage.
That's not funny. Rewind.
I mean, so that you didn't know that? No, I don't.
Do anybody?
To my best of knowledge.
Do anybody need a roommate?
No, we can't. You stay at home, bro. Stay at home. Anyway, that was a joke.
Some people got it.
To my best knowledge,
I
don't have any children outside of like my brothers and sisters. Because I consider everybody that I grew up or raised or changed. If I changed your diaper, you were one of my kids. You always be a kid.
Or no.
If I changed your diaper before,
if we can't follow them as a dependent, no, they not your kid.
Well, after 3, they don't matter. It's dependence on taxes anyway. But okay, so no, actually, I am, and I said it in the bio that I am an aspiring fiction writer.
Yes.
I love writing fiction. I have a pretty cool imagination.
He does.
And I am aspiring to put something out. So you can't Google that because all of my greatest work has not been put out.
And I've been
except for Coach My Life.
Well, the Coach My Life anthology,
but
you was
that's
a
not
part of.
That's real. I'm talking.
No, facts. You've been a part of the Coach My Life anthology 1 and 2, where he was able to birth the writing gift that
to actually get published, to actually make it happen, to actually take action. So that was yeah. But yeah,
and I'm excited about the fiction writing. It's pretty interesting. And listen, let me tell y'all something. I read to learn and I watch TV for entertainment. But his books are like both. I can read, I can learn, and I can be entertained. So I'm hooked. So I don't know if that's like because I'm your wife, but
no, it's dope stuff. Everybody who read it love my stuff. I just haven't let everybody read it. That's kind of the problem.
That is the problem.
That's not arrogant. Did I say everybody love my stuff because it's dope?
No. That's confidence. I think that's pretty
But it is dope though.
Okay, cool. So let's rock out to question number 4.
It's real dope.
How are you staying focused on your business during this state of emergency? And how can you help other people stay focused in their business during the state of emergency?
Okay, so first and foremost, I had to realize that I wasn't on vacation.
That's good.
For anybody who works a 9 to 5 and that works heavy hours, who maybe have been bred to work hours for pay, that your whole understanding of money is that if I work X amount of hours, I get X amount of dollars. So I'm speaking to one group of people because there's way more people that think, have different. But so when you learn that just because you have a full-time job and you work a lot, you can still be lazy. And you'll learn that sometimes us that work a lot for someone else, we are very lazy. So because my challenge was when we were laid off, it was like, cool, I'm gonna work. I'm done, right? Purpose is done. Nothing has to be built. Nothing has to be put down. I'm free from purpose. And that's not a fact. You know what I'm saying? No matter what my job is, that's not what I was born. That's not my call to do what I do, even though I'm, blessed to have have employment and all that great stuff. That's not what I was born for. That's not my purpose. Even though my purpose can be put in that, but it's not my purpose. If that makes sense. So once I realized that I wasn't on vacation and realized that I was lazy, no matter how hard I worked for somebody else, because it's easy to work for someone else when they tell you what to do. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to be disciplined and do something for yourself, do something for your purpose, and even try to discover your purpose. Like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So first and foremost, I realized that I wasn't on vacation, and then I began to make it my job to learn something. Now, this is the truth. The struggle I have been dealing with is learning so much and then doing. So it's like, you getting all the information, you learning. Now you got to do. Like, you have to make this a fluid relationship, because you can get so much into the learning. I ain't had as much time to watch YouTube videos and read books and, I'm so geeked that I'm learning at my leisure, and then you're not doing nothing. So that can be, kind of the challenge. But so what's been helping me stay focused is that, one, I have to learn something. And two, I am not on vacation. I have a great opportunity to actually do something for myself. I've been a person that said, Lord, if I could work from home, Lord, if I could do this and not have to go to my job every day, what do I do? So I wake up every morning and I ask myself, okay, have I started acting like the millionaire that I said I'm going to be? And when my work ethic don't look like that, I can't be mad at nobody but myself. So challenge yourself. Challenge yourself.
That's good. I think that one of the main points, and just check out how all of this all rolled together, right? So remember, you talked about those three major points. Mm-hmm. You talked about awareness, association, and action, right? Mm-hmm. And so now talking about some things to help you stay focused during this time. I know that I have been blessed to work from home. I've been a full-time business owner for 6 years. So I've been forced to create my own schedules. I've been forced to create my own pay. This whole pandemic and the shift in the economy, the shift in social distancing and all of these things, it's not really a discomfort for me as it pertains to my business, because this is how I roll. But seeing my husband come home and now having to shift his daily routine, shift his timing, shift his thinking, shift his mindset, those three major areas of awareness, association, and action, I can see those. I can see him becoming aware, like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not on vacation. Associating this time as not being a time of vacation, but a time of growth, a time of learning. I don't believe that we're going to return back to what we thought or considered was normal. I think that we're getting ready to create a totally new normal for most families in the nation. So how can you now implement those three strategies that he shared with us earlier and now create a new normal for you and your business now? Right? Like, not waiting until, we can go back out and go back to the bar, go back to the restaurant, go back to the movies. But what can you do now in your business that's going to keep you focused, that's going to keep you moving? Because one of the biggest myths is because, the world is shifting and the world is pivoting. A lot of business owners, you guys are falling back on offering your services and offering your, listen, you got to keep rocking, because this thing is going to move and you want to make sure that you're not missing a beat. So I think that was really good. As well as
the first thing about awareness is becoming aware of everything that you can do. The first thing you have to understand when it comes to being aware is that you have to understand that you can. I think it's a huge mental gap, because people think that they can't obtain something because they've never done it, they've never seen it, and it don't look like it can happen. Your worst case scenario, depending on where you live, how you live, who you're surrounded around, the assets, the liabilities, the resources you have, the worst case scenario is that you're going to have to work harder than every single person before you, around you, and that you know. And the one gift about having to do that is that you'll probably become more successful than everybody around you and that you know, because you'll be working harder than them. The biggest secret to success that I've continued, and I've read, let's say 10 to 20 books and audio, maybe 100 hours of audio books. Everyone successful that I've read and heard, they all have one central language and they all talk about work. And it's not labor. It's a difference from just moving a chair or doing it work has a lot more to do with learning, building, executing, implementing, being versatile, challenging yourself, and being innovative and creative. So first things first, if you're going to be aware, understand that you can do it. It don't mean that you ain't going to be able, you can do it the same way you've always done it, but it can be done if you truly have the desire, even if worst case scenario, like I said, you got to be the hardest working person you know.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so we got a couple more questions. We're not trying to be before you guys long. Again, this is our 2020 virtual shift conference kickoff. We wanted to introduce to you the workshop facilitators.
Yeah.
This is actually day one of one of our workshop facilitators. Meech Real will be bringing forth a fantastic workshop on mindset transformation in your business. So of course I wanted to introduce to you guys who he is, what he is about, the story that he's going to share, and then kind of give you a little bit of some of the snippets of what we're going to share during the conference. So question number 5 is, who do you hope you are making proud during building your business, during the time of business building?
FICO and my family. Facts.
Facts. I wasn't.
Do not allow this time for you. I mean, like, listen. FICO got it. I want them to be proud of me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how y'all keep up with y'all's credit or whatever, but I get reports every couple months. Hey, you're doing great. Your score is this. Your payments on this is that. I want to keep them proud of me because in the future they're gonna be sending off. I'm gonna be asking for some money that they're gonna need to send me for some
That's
ventures.
hilarious.
So I need to keep a good relationship with them so that they know that I'm serious about what I'm doing and who I am. And my children, man, my children get to see one side of the fold where they get to see my wife make money and build, and she doesn't have to go work for anybody. So in this time, I want to show them that you can make a choice. There's nothing wrong with being an employee and working for somebody because you can't have a business without employees. And everybody is not born to run their business. We need great teams.
We need great entrepreneurs.
We need entrepreneurs. So, but I want to show them that when things happen, you can make it an opportunity to grow, just like James 1 and 2, which is my favorite scripture of all time. So, I want to make my kids proud of me. I want them to see, like, dang, you know, Daddy could have chilled. You know, we've been blessed to say that maybe I could chill for a while. But it's like, dang, what good is it to have all this free time and use it like God gonna give me another 100 years to be somebody. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's good.
FICO on my family.
That's good. That's good. Okay, last question. And I left this question for last because this is an opportunity for Demetrious to share his story a little bit. But I want to know, and I want to share with our viewers tonight, how did you get into fathership? How did you get into being a communication coach? What made you want to solve this problem of father-son reconciliation?
I guess the first thing, I realized that I was jealous of my homeboys who had grew up with both of their parents in the house and friends that hung out with their dads. I thought it was always pretty interesting how that worked. You know, that's not how I grew up. So when I began to see that and that was something I desired, I began to realize how resentful I was that I didn't have it. So I first made it my dad's fault or my mom's fault. Or Trump's fault, it was everybody's fault why me and my father's relationship wasn't what it was. But then I also realized that I didn't really mess with dudes in general coming up, and the dudes I did I didn't mind being dysfunctional. Like it was just some core things that I didn't value, and then I had to look back at it and realize it was because me and my dad never taught me. You know what I'm saying? And we never had that communication. We never had that level. My understanding of what made a man, and what learning about all of that stuff. That comes from your dad. And then just getting older and being around younger guys and seeing how much animosity men, especially men of color, have towards one another. How you can walk down the street and you can be looked at with the eyes of death by somebody you've never met. And how easily and how quickly we are to beat, kill, and destroy each other. And it's like, what's the common denominator? So just doing a little research and seeing how many people live in fatherless homes, how many people's fathers are incarcerated, how many people's fathers are dead, and then looking at how these kids' lives, how they grow up, it started to click. And I'm always a person that believes that one of your biggest concerns is attached to your call. And it bothered me to see men not take the mantle of being a father when they have children. It bothered me to see men hate men. It bothered me. So once I started to realize a lot of the issues that I had with men, a lot of the issues that I had in relationship, and even communicating how I felt and how I responded to things, came from the first man that was teaching me how to be a man. It became something that I was passionate about to share, what I had learned and what I discovered and what I actually went through.
That's good. And the reason why I left that question to be the ending of our interview is because when you're in and I teach this all the time about the different forms of marketing, right? Mm-hmm. So there's selling, there's exchanging profit for product, exchanging profit for service, and then exchanging profit for transformation. Mm-hmm. When you are selling product, there's a different form of selling, there's a different style of selling, there's a different marketing strategy that you have to use. When you're selling service, and this is for my creatives and for my consultants, when you're selling service, there's a different type of marketing strategy that you have to use. There's a different mindset. But when you're selling transformation, which means us as coaches helping you transition, helping you go from where you are to where you desire to be, there's a different approach. And so you have to make sure that whatever it is that you're helping your client do, or whatever you're helping them to become, that is something that you've been healed from, it's something that God has healed you from, that he has brought you from. Because what I've learned in the 8 years, and that's only professionally coaching, but in the several years that I've been a coach, something that I've learned is that everything that God has me to solve in my client's business has been something that I've experienced, right? And so the reason why I want him to share, why did he become this communication coach? What made him feel like that he's called to the father-son relationship? And it's because it's something that he's experienced. It's something that he had to go through. Not only has he been a son for 33 years, but he's been a father for 8. And so in those years of experience, there's been a particular relationship that he had to develop with God so that he can understand why he went through those things. And then now he can be the vessel so that he can help other fathers who are struggling with the relationships with their fathers, or struggling in the relationship with their children. Right. And so if you're a coach, if you are a creative, whether or not you are a service-based creative, you're offering your consulting services, whatever you're doing, I encourage you to find the problem that you're solving in your business. Mm-hmm. Listen, your services are amazing, right? We all have very similar services, but the problem that you solve is what will allow you to stand out in the industry. So listen, this has been a fantastic time. I want to make sure that I'm getting all of my notes. Listen, before we close out, let the viewers know how they can contact you or follow you. Or
you can follow me all on the Bible app at Meet Real.
I love it. He always tell people to follow him on the Bible app. I love it.
Cause I want to know what people studying. I like, I want to be nosy and see if I need to be studying what y'all studying. Like what you say today, Robaz. What was your prayer?
Jabez.
Prayer Jabez. I need to read that.
1 Chronicles 4:10. Expand our territory.
I need to read that.
Yes. Did y'all see how he tried to check me?
It sounded fly, and I was like, "What is Jabez? What did you just?" I gotta be careful because it's a lot of Christians that be professing witchcraft, so I gotta make sure it's not happening in my home.
But your own wife.
But I'm just being careful. But follow me at Meet Real everywhere on social media, on YouTube. Follow my podcast. Everything is Meet Real. You search Meet Real or Live with Meet Real, which is spelled like live with Meet Real.
Oh yeah.
It'll come up. But
cool.
Yeah, follow me on the Bible app is what I really like seeing people's highlights and comments and notes and asking for prayer. Like that's kind of legit one of my new favorite platforms for social media.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So listen, guys, thank you so much for rocking out with us as we launch the kickoff to the 2020 Virtual Shift Conference. The Shift Conference is May 15th and the 16th. It is a 2-day conference. We're going to keep it 2-day. We have speakers lined up. We have workshops lined up. I'm ready for y'all to download y'all workbook. We are going to rock out and we are going to help you in your business. There are 2 different types of registration. There is general registration that provides you access to the conference. And then we have VIP registration, which not only provides you access to the conference, but you get a power hour with the speakers so that you can ask questions, so that you can dive deeper into your business. And in that VIP, you get the conference replay. So I know 2 days is a long time, but it won't be, because you're going to be working on what you love, and it is your business. I wanted to make sure I addressed a question that we had. I did a post earlier asking if anyone had any questions that they wanted me to address for the conference. One of the questions was, what if I am unable to attend both days of the conference? Which was a super dope question, because I know some of you guys are wondering the same thing. If you are a Chase Great Coach, whoop whoop, you guys automatically get the replay. However, for my general registration and for my VIP, you have to have the VIP for the replay. For the general registration, I need you to just come on and rock out. There is a replay purchase option. So if you're like, listen, LaToya, I can't come 2 days. Cool. Make sure you get the replay option, and then you guys will be all set to go, and you can watch it as many times as you need. So I hope we were able to address any questions or concerns. Anybody who put something in the comments, again, I got glasses on and I still can't see that. Yeah. So we're gonna have to just rock out with you and go at and answer the questions individually. But we thank you so much for joining us on tonight. Make sure you catch us next Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as we talk to our Shift Your Money workshop facilitator. Listen, I had to go look up. She has a degree in law, but it's like the highest law degree that there is. I didn't even know that there were different ranks in a law degree. Her name is Stephanie. I can't wait. Next week, we're going to rock out with Stephanie, Shift Your Money. She's going to share some strategies with us on how to shift your money in business. Listen, the Shift Conference is about shifting your business and shifting your faith. So thank you guys for rocking out with us. We love you. You have anything else to say?
Stay at home.
Stay at home.
Going to see people is not staying at home. No. Listen, whatever you do, man, use wisdom. Use wisdom. Make sure y'all get the VIP. You're going to really
rock out with the VIP.
Yeah, you're going to get to have coaches, personal talk. I'm talking about what questions you ask. We're going to be able to talk to you directly. That's why the virtual aspect is so dope, because you're actually going to be able to get us one-on-one. You know, something that's valued way more. Like I said, we made huge accommodations because we want everybody to get this information. And it's just really going to be a blessing. I dare you. That's the one thing I did. I dare you because I dare myself to invest during this time when people are telling you to bury your money and put it in the ground. And anybody who read the word knows what happens to those who bury their word and bury their money and put it in the ground. So I dare you to invest in something that's going to bless you, because it is. And if you don't feel blessed after the conference, check your posts.
We love y'all. Thank y'all for rocking out for us. And we will see you next week. Same day, same time. Have a fantastic day.